little buns, it is Steph. Welcome back to my home. I'm going for a rather beachy look today with this dewy skin and this no makeup face. Well, there's lots of makeup on, it's just not on my eyes, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm here to answer some questions. I normally do questions through Instagram comments, but this time I decided to try something a little bit different. I'm pretty sure I saw another YouTuber do this. I do not remember who they were. I'm so sorry. It was honestly ages ago. I've also seen some YouTubers do a Snapchat Q&A, which I liked the idea of. I did once like 2 years ago, but never again, because I didn't like how I had to like hold the phone up. So what I decided to do instead is have you guys email me videos of you asking the questions so that you could really more tangibly be in the video than what I normally did, which was Instagram comments. So I hope you like that idea. If you want to be in a future Q&A video, you can email me Q&A questions anytime as a video. Just use the subject line Q&A, Q and as in the and symbol, A. And hopefully you'll end up in the next Q&A video. I will remind you at the end of the video the same thing, but let's just jump right in and get started.
Hi Steph! My question for you would be, what do you do if you only have like 5 minutes to get ready? Do you wear makeup? And if so, what products do you use? Love ya!
What do I do if I only have 5 minutes to get ready? Well, I usually do something like this if I only have 5 minutes to get ready. So I just throw on my tinted sunscreen, I put a little bit of foundation on top in areas where I need it, and powder it all up, throw on a highlighter, throw on, like the bronzer I'm wearing isn't even a bronzer, it's just a darker highlighter. So like, that's basically what I do. And then a brow gel and a little bit of mascara. I can do that in 5 minutes easy. That's, I guess, what I do if I have 5 minutes to get ready, yeah. And then I wear something that doesn't require a lot of effort, like a romper or something.
Hi Steph, so I would like to know if you would rather have elf ears or vampire fangs. Hello you so much.
I love how you did my outro, that's so cute. Elf ears or vampire fangs? Damn, you've got me really in a scrap here because I love the idea of having vampire fangs because I'm an aggressive person and I just feel like it would be really intimidating. However, I've always wanted elf ears because I think that's just so whimsical and beautiful. I'm gonna say vampire fangs so that I can scare people who like see my face normally with the blue eyes and everything and I just don't look harmful. I don't look like I'm gonna hurt them, right? And then I smile and it looks like I'm gonna rip your face off. I like that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Hey Steph. My question is, would you ever want to go on TV and why? Love you!
Do I ever want to go on TV? Yeah, I mean I've been on some news things before. I'm actually filming a news thing tomorrow for Global News, which is I believe a Canadian news channel. But that's not exactly how I'd like to be on TV. I mean, I don't mind it, it makes me happy. But I would love to transition into acting one day. I would absolutely love that. I've always loved acting. I've always loved playing characters. I actually role played online for a long time. I don't know, it's something that I adore. I was a drama kid in high school, so that's something I would love to do. I'd love to be in like a crime show, but not as like the cop. I'd love to be the criminal. Not like a criminal that's actually bad, like an anti-hero mob boss or something, you know what I mean? Or I'd love to be like in Grimm or like Gotham or something where it's like just eerie and fantastical, but still like grim and edgy. I just love that whole aesthetic. I would love to be on TV as an actor. I would die for that. And I mean, there's not many roles for trans people right now, and there are so many, thankfully, so many wonderful, amazing trans actors trying to pave that way, and they're doing a great job, and they're doing the best they can, and I respect them so much for that. So maybe soon I'll try to break into that. We'll see. I'll ask around. We'll see what happens.
Hi Steph, my name is Harper and I'm non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. And I was wondering if you knew anybody who's non-binary and has medically transitioned, or if you have any advice for anybody who's non-binary. Thank you. Love you, Bread Mom.
I love you too. So I do have some non-binary friends and I watch the non-binary YouTubers who have medically transitioned or want to or are medically transitioning. And I know a lot of people for some reason have this idea that if you're non-binary, you don't medically transition. I mean, you don't have to medically transition even if you are binary, but like me, for example. It's all based on what you want for yourself or what makes you feel comfortable, what you need for your mental health. It's not about fitting a certain look, right? So if you want to medically transition, if that's what's gonna help you live a better life, then I recommend you look into it. I recommend you do it. It can be tricky in some places to medically transition as a non-binary person because a lot of the time in places that need you to go to therapy and stuff, they want to hear certain things. And I don't know if all of the psychology is caught up with non-binary gender yet. I don't know. Transition is about what you need for yourself. It's unique to every single individual. So if you're non-binary and you need to transition, Do what you have to do, baby. Do what you have to do.
Hi, Steph. My name is James. I use he, him pronouns. And my question for you is, how do you experience trans misogyny? As a trans guy, I've started to notice my privilege in different ways and how people treat me differently because now to society, they're starting to read me more as male. And I was wondering for you as a trans woman, how you experience that in your own way. Thank you for taking your time to making amazing videos and just being a lovely person that you are. I love you, Steph.
Okay. First of all, James, you have incredible charisma and incredible presence on camera, so if you're not already doing YouTube, you should start. Unless you don't want to, that's fine too. How do I experience trans misogyny? So before transitioning, I worked as a makeup artist, and during transition, early transition, I worked as a makeup artist, and I was always respected. I was always seen as an authority on makeup, like by my clients and everything. And the second I started transitioning, the second people started reading me as a woman, I got second guessed a lot. I got passed over for my male colleagues a lot. And you'd think in an industry like makeup, especially beauty makeup, not even television and film, or like prosthetics or sculpting, which also I can do, by the way. You would think that, you know, women would still be able to hold high places of, you know, social standing in those situations without having to prove themselves first. But they can't. It's like instantly they just want to sit down with the dude. And I mean, I'm not in that job anymore, but I definitely noticed that when I started applying to different stores as a retail makeup artist, I was offered lower rates than when I was applying as a man. Crazy. It was so obvious. It was black and white, it was day and night, it was instant change in the way that I was treated as a professional in that industry. So I can 100% say I've experienced that.
Hi Steph, I was wondering if I could get a digital hug, and I wanted to tell you I love you and your videos.
Oh my gosh, of course you can get a digital hug. I love you so much. Come to me, my child. Bless, I hope you're having a good day. If it's not a good day, it's gonna get better. You're gonna make it, you're gonna kick some ass, darling, you're gonna do it. It's gonna be the damn thing. It's gonna be the damn thing. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine.
Hi Steph. Have you ever watched Orange is the New Black? And if so, how do you feel about the trans issues that are explored there?
Orange is the New Black. I have watched Orange is the New Black. I have not watched the newest season yet. I love pretty much every character. I mean, except for fucking Piper. But I mean, who likes Piper? I mean, it's a great actor. I mean, everybody in that show is a great actor. Anyway, trans issues. Okay. I mean, Laverne Cox is amazing and portrays Sophia so well. Again, I haven't watched the most recent season, season 5, so I don't know how they've handled her that season. But I do feel like after the original story of Sophia, they kind of brushed the whole dynamic under the rug for the most part. She did have, you know, those moments where she was harassed and beaten and shit, like, which I did not like. It was a portrayal of those issues, and I appreciated that, that it brought attention to that from other people, right? Because I already knew this was happening. I didn't need to know that. But I'm glad that other people now understand that as well. I would love to see Sophia go in a new direction, maybe something positive, have a trans person experience something positive. Obviously they're in jail, so I mean, it's not like she's gonna be getting a white picket fence house with somebody, obviously, but I'm just saying, it'd be nice to see her triumph in some big way. Maybe next, I haven't seen season 5, so I don't know if she does, but it would be great to see her just kick some ass. It would be amazing. Not literally violently kick ass, but just, you know.
Hi Steph, it's Momo. Ignore the laundry machine in the background. I'm a professional YouTuber. Anyway, I just want to know if you could pick one movie that completely matches your aesthetic, what movie is that?
Oh my god, Momo. MoMo O'Brien is another YouTuber, a good friend of mine. If you don't already watch Momo, I highly recommend you do. I'll put a link in the description box. She does lots of videos about LARPing, about just cool shit. She's a cool girl. I don't know, I love her to death. Go check her out. What movie matches my aesthetic 100%? Let me think. This is tricky because I grew up on a lot of Disney movies and a lot of fantasy and science fiction things as well. You know what movie I wish I matched aesthetically? Titan AE. Do you guys remember that movie? I haven't watched that since I was probably 9 years old. It just popped into my head. Damn. All right, let's keep going.
Do you think that there are more than 2 genders? Or like, you know, non-binary genders or whatever?
Do I think there are more than 2 genders? Short answer, yes. Long answer, gender exists on a spectrum. It is a social construct. I don't understand how people adamantly refuse to believe that women having to wear dresses and men having to wear pants is not a biological imperative. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why people can't understand that once they're just faced with it. I don't get it. If clothing is optional, like if you can wear whatever you want, no matter what your gender is, then I don't understand why anything else having to do with gender that isn't a literal organ in your body, I don't know why they can't figure that out. I don't know. And then there's even the situation of sex and gender being separate, and I mean, I understand the distinction and I understand what people are saying, and obviously scientifically that can be correct, 100%. But I feel like the language that we use when we discuss that, when we say, oh, sex and gender are separate things, that's just giving people ways to say, oh no, trans women are really men or really male underneath their clothing. That's not what this is. And that's what Riley Dennis, for example, means when she says that trans women are not biologically male. That's what she means. She's not saying we don't have penises or we have wombs. She is saying it doesn't fucking matter that we have penises and we don't have wombs, because that has nothing to do with us being a woman. That has everything to do with how we are able to procreate, but that's not something that needs to be linked to gender anymore. And I know that's a radical idea, and I know it's a revolutionary concept, and I know it's not going to be easy for everybody to accept, but the reality is gender exists on a spectrum, and I'm never gonna say, oh no, you have to dress differently because you shouldn't be restricted by gender. If you want to be restricted by gender, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm obviously not gonna go around with my shirt off and like flex and like do manly things. That doesn't make me comfortable. I'm just going to encourage everybody to do what makes them comfortable, and if that means being binary, that's fine, because hi, I'm binary too. I get that. So I don't want anybody to think when I say gender exists on a spectrum that you have to change what you're doing. You do not. All I'm saying is anybody can do whatever makes them comfortable with their gender. That's it. So yes, there are more than two genders.
Hi Steph, my question for you is, who is your inspiration and role model that you look up to in the LGBTQ+ community? I love you so much. Hope you're having a good day. Bye. She's
the cutest person I've ever seen in my life. She looks like a ray of sunlight, the light bouncing off of her skin. My life just improved watching that question. I don't know what to tell you. Who is my role model inspiration in the LGBTQ community? It's tricky because there's so many people, and the way that I see it now is that I shouldn't have one, because everybody has strong suits and everybody has flaws. And if I idolize one person and I end up meeting them, I'm gonna be disappointed because nobody's perfect. So I would say I'm inspired by the entire community and by all of the efforts we've made, all of the historical figures, all the people who've come before, whether they're alive or not. I'm inspired by them. I'm inspired by the entire gender movement that's happening right now and has been happening for hundreds of years, and literally since the beginning of humanity, by the way. But we just aren't going to acknowledge the first 10,000 years of it because it was erased from history. I guess there's not a specific person. I will tell you though, like when I first started trying to understand my gender and first started coming out and first started transitioning, watching other trans YouTubers was a big deal for me. It was really, really good. So some that I recommend and we'll put in the description box are Ty Turner, Chase Ross, Riley Dennis. I love Riley Dennis to death. Do not come for me. If you dislike her, you don't know her. I promise. I promise. Nobody that knows Riley dislikes Riley, okay? Kat Blaque, oh my god, smartest person I've ever met in my life. It's hard because there's so many and I can't remember everybody off the top of my head, but go check those people out. Links in the description box.
Hi Steph, I just want to know, what has been your favorite thing that has happened throughout your transition so far? Love you.
Love you too. If I'm gonna give you a smart-ass answer, my favorite thing that has happened through my transition has been the desire to die has lessened every day. However, I will say that my favorite thing that's happened through my transition. Oh, I had a good answer for this when I first looked at the video too. What was it? Shit, I can't remember what the answer was before, but I thought of a new one. And honestly, before I started transitioning, I was working as a makeup artist at a counter, which I enjoyed. But documenting this transition has given me a platform and given me an audience, has given me you guys, and that, to be honest, has been the biggest life changer. That's better than any hips I'm ever gonna grow. It gave me a whole new career, it gave me an entire new path in life that I love so much more than what I was doing before, and that 100% is the best thing that's happened to me in this transition. Physical changes, sure. Mental health improvements over time, great, wonderful. But you guys top the list, and that's a promise.
Hi Steph! My question is, do you have any opinion on biphobia or bisexual hatred in the LGBTQ community? Bye, love you so much.
Biphobia, yes, okay, so that exists, it does. For those of you that don't really understand the concept of biphobia, it is the idea, usually this comes from either gay or lesbian people, but it can come from a lot of people, really. And the idea is that if you are bisexual and you're in a relationship with, like if you're in a heterosexual relationship, if you're in a relationship with somebody that is not your gender, that you don't belong in queer spaces. That is the idea. And I really think that's bullshit, because whether you're with a man or a woman or anybody else in between, that doesn't change the fact that you're still bisexual, that you've still suffered discrimination or prejudice or oppression based on your gender or your sexuality. So it's garbage. That's like telling, I don't know, that's like telling somebody who has acne, who's having a good day and their skin is clear that they shouldn't be buying skincare. I don't understand. It's hard to make an analogy of that. It really is hard. But I mean, just because you're not experiencing something every single day from every single angle does not mean you're not experiencing it. You know what I mean? Bisexual people are always welcome in my queer space, okay? Come on, hang out. Come over. Let's hang out. That is all the questions that I had this time. There were so many more than that emailed to me, but I could not fit everybody in. Of course, that would be an extremely long video. But thank you so much if you sent any questions. For future reference, you can send questions for the next Q&A video to my business email, which is in the description box. Just attach the video and use the subject line Q&A, Q and, as in the symbol of and, A. And if you can, try to have really clear audio so I can hear what your question is. There were some people that sent clips with muffled audio and I couldn't really hear the question, so I had to exclude those, unfortunately. But do your best, and I hope I can see you in the next video. Until next time, just remember, you are a revolutionary person. You can change this world. We're gonna change it together. Let's do it together. Let's do it. Find what's important to you and chase the hell out of it. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye!